Hey there YouTube, it's Nick with Feeding Fitness. Today I'm going to answer a question. A few of you actually sent this in. You wanted me to do a video about reverse dieting. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. First, for those of you who don't know, what in the world is reverse dieting and why do people do it? Well, basically a reverse diet is when you've taken your calories low on a cut and you're going to transition yourself back to maintenance or even into a bulk. You do what's called a reverse diet, where rather than adding all the calories at once, you slowly add calories over a period of time until you achieve maintenance or get into your bulking calories. So who are reverse diets for and why do we use them? The first thing I want to say is that most of you don't need to reverse diet. I think too many people screw around with this when they have no business doing it. If you've cut properly and you followed most of the instructions that I give out for cutting, meaning relatively moderate deficit, about 500 calorie deficit per week, and you take diet breaks every 8 weeks, you really don't need to do much reverse dieting. You really just spend 2 weeks at maintenance and then start moving into your bulk calories. You can add that 500 calories you've cut out, you can pretty much add that right back and not see a lot of fat gain. I wouldn't jump straight from cutting into your bulk calories. Don't go from a 20% deficit into a 10% surplus overnight. That's silly. But really, if you've cut properly and you've only cut by about 500 calories, just run maintenance for 2 weeks and then transition into your bulk. No need to really reverse diet. I mean, you could call that reverse dieting, but that's really not necessary for you. Now, let's say you didn't follow that advice. Let's say you were 1,000 calories below your maintenance level, and you dieted for 6 months and didn't take a break at all. You're going to need to reverse diet. You can't just throw 1,000 calories back into your diet. You're going to put on a lot of fat if you do that. So you have to work your way back up to what your maintenance should be. Now your maintenance is already going to be lowered because you dieted improperly. You had too big of a deficit and you did it for too long without a break. So you can assume your maintenance is lower than what it should be. So for you guys, reverse dieting, it's still not all that complicated. The easiest way I would say to do it is to simply add 100 calories to your diet every week until you hit your maintenance and then slowly transition into your bulk. Or if you're going to cut again, cut more reasonably this time. Now you can see why these crazy long super restrictive diets aren't the best. So let's say you are 1,000 calories below your maintenance. Well, it might take you 5, 6, 7 weeks to slowly get back up to your maintenance. And that's kind of wasted time in my opinion. If you would have dieted properly, you might not have lost the weight so quickly, but you would have been able to transition into your bulk much more quickly. So what time you might have saved then, and I don't think you saved a ton of time because your metabolism slowed down and you basically probably put your body through hell going on so few calories. And now you have to spend all this time reverse dieting. This is why the best thing you can do regarding reverse diets is not need to use them. Don't take your calories so low and diet for so long that you even need to implore one. But a lot of you guys have probably already done this. The damage is already done. And I don't like the term damage. Metabolic damage is blown way out of proportion. 99% of you do not have metabolic damage. You really have to eat very few calories for a very long period of time to damage your metabolism. That's kind of a bullshit fear. You'll have metabolic slowdown, of course. That can happen relatively quickly. And again, that's why we take diet breaks every 8 weeks. But again, if you didn't, and you're at super low calories, really at about 100 calories a week. Try not to pay too much attention to your scale weight because as you add calories, a couple of things are guaranteed to happen. One, you're going to be eating more carbs, and that's going to cause water weight gains. And two, if you're just eating more food in general, you're probably going to be taking in more sodium. Sodium is in everything. If you're able to eat more food and keep your sodium levels consistent, you won't see as much water gain. but I know when I cut versus when I bulk, I tend to get a lot more sodium just because there's sodium in almost everything. So when you add more food, you're adding more sodium. So pay more attention to the mirror than to the scale. The scale is going to lie to you. You could gain quite a bit of weight depending on how low your calories were. But yeah, just slowly move the calories about 100 a week till you're at where you feel your maintenance should be. And then you can transition into your bulk or go back to cutting. But this time when you cut at a moderate calorie deficit and take diet breaks. So that's really, I think, all most of you need to know about refeeding. Maybe a little different if you're like a competition bodybuilder that got down to 5% body fat, but that's really beyond the scope of this video and the scope of my channel. If you're reaching those types of levels, you probably already know more about this topic than I do. So for the majority of people, and people not getting to obscenely low body fat, you don't need to worry too much about reverse dieting. And if you do everything correctly, you don't have to reverse diet at all. And there's a reason that I advocate dieting the way I do, and this is really it. Like I said before, the time you might have shaved 3 or 4 weeks off your cut because you did it so aggressively, but you're going to waste that time trying to get back to your maintenance, where if you would have just done a moderate deficit, you'd have gotten to eat more, you wouldn't have starved yourself, it would have probably been an easier cut for you, and you'd be able to transition into your bulk much quicker. So that's really it. If you guys have any questions or comments, please post them below over on the Facebook page. Send more video ideas because I love to do them. I actually got this idea from a couple of subscribers, so that's why I decided to do this one today. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and please thumbs up if you like the video. I'll see you guys next time.